Okay, so this is my Suicide Squad review. I did another one earlier, got some feedback, and thought I'd redo the review, try and make it a little more succinct, and hit all the points that I wanted to hit, and be a little bit more precise. So, basically, the criticisms I heard of the movie were mainly the editing, which is understandable. It was released by, I guess, the production company, but basically it's known that the writer-director, David Ayer, who's known for End of Watch and Fury, didn't get to edit the movie because Warner Brothers stepped in. They wanted to, again, this is speculation, I don't know all this for a fact, this is what I've heard. They wanted to kind of change the tone, maybe because of the criticism of Batman vs. Superman, wanted to lift the tone a bit, went in, re-edited it. Editing was an issue, pacing was an issue. The movie was a little bit all over the place in terms of the progression of how things happened, where certain scenes were. So that's a fair criticism. I share in it. I don't have as big of a problem with it as some people, but I can understand that. A lot of people didn't like the main villain. I don't want to say who it is, even though you find out fairly early on. They don't really tell you in the previews who it is. If you have a keen eye and know comics, you might be able to guess. Again, I can see that, but it wasn't a huge deal for me. The movie was about this team, the chemistry between the team. That all worked. The villain, the motivation for the villain wasn't particularly clear. The plan of the villain wasn't particularly sensible. So I can see that criticism, and I think it's valid, but it wasn't a huge deal for me. Some people didn't like Will Smith. They felt like he was just being Will Smith. Again, I can see that, but for me, I thought he was good in it. He wasn't really Deadshot. He was Will Smith doing his version of the anti-hero, sort of like a Punisher type character. And certain things were true to the comic, as I understand it. I'm not very familiar with the Deadshot comics. He didn't kill women and children. That's true. I do believe that Will Smith came in and wanted to negotiate the character to be more likable. Again, I don't know that for a fact, but that seems evidenced by the way the character played out. I would have liked to see him wear the mask more. The mask looked really cool. He was only in it for a couple of short scenes. That's the image of Deadshot that I know from the comics. And I'm fairly sure Will Smith wanted to get more face time, and so probably argued against using it more. So I would have liked to see that more, but I thought he did a good job with the character. It didn't feel particularly like Deadshot, but it felt like a good anti-hero, mercenary type character that worked well in the context of the team and was well acted in terms of the emotion of the character. It rang true. His feelings towards his daughter and things like that, were well played, well acted by Will Smith. I've heard the one criticism I probably wholeheartedly agree with was Killer Croc. I didn't like him. They turned him into kind of like this homeboy, for lack of a better term, street guy. You'll see his request at the end was this stereotypical, silly request to get a laugh. He wasn't as powerful as he is in the comics. He just looked like a regular guy with like disfigured, like a reptilian skin, reptilian face, but regular dimensions. In the comics, he's huge. He's real powerful. He's basically a worthy adversary of Batman. And in this, he wasn't. He was a very, very much a second-tier character, not very strong. Okay, so what did I like about it? I mentioned Will Smith already. I liked him in it. Again, he wasn't exactly Deadshot, but I think he did a good job. I think he acted the part well, and I had no issue. I had some small issues, but I had no issue overall with him being that character and him reprising the role in future films, which, considering the success the movies had, will probably happen. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I thought was great. A lot of people seem to like her as it. She basically made the character her own. There was touches from the animated series, which is where the character originated. The origin story, they touched on it. Her relationship with Joker was done well. I wish they would have had more of that. I've heard a lot of that in other reviews. I would have liked to see more of how he seduced her into becoming, because it happened very quickly in flashbacks. They show her as a prison psychiatrist who gets seduced by the Joker, and that's how she goes over to the dark side, and then he escapes. And these are done in flashbacks. These aren't part of the main plot of the movie, so I feel like I'm not giving away spoilers by saying all that. I would have liked to see more of either how he was able to turn her from being purportedly good character, somebody who's working to help people, help criminals, help the criminally insane, to this insane person that she became, who's kind of rivals the Joker's insanity. Or the other route they could have gone was shown more of that dark side of her before he turned her. In other words, it was already there in her, and he awakened it in her while she was treating him. So either show more of his manipulation or show more of how she had that dark side before. I would have liked to see that. But I still enjoy the scenes with them together. I'd like to see more of that. It sounds like there's probably going to be a solo Harley movie, so hopefully they'll go more into her backstory with the Joker. I'll get back to the Joker in a second. I just wanted to finish the things that I definitely liked. The Joker I'm a bit mixed on, didn't dislike. The team chemistry, I said it before, other people have said it. It worked really well, especially, the three characters who worked the best for me were Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and Diablo. All interesting characters, all interesting backstories. Chemistry between them worked very well, very solid. I have really no issues, except for I would have liked to see Deadshot wear the mask a little bit more, but they were all great. Captain Boomerang, not that great. Slipknot was barely in it, but forgettable. And Katana was a really cool character that was underused. So, really cool story, really cool character. They definitely should have done more with her backstory. But character was very cool. Actress did a solid job with the lines that she had. Wasn't enough there for her. Killer Croc, as I said, didn't like him. So really the only real big misses for me were Killer Croc and Captain Boomerang. Enchantress there were certain scenes that were really cool. One in particular where she first takes over the body of June Moon. The first scene is pretty cool when she takes it over, and then the first time that she's shown that Amanda Waller, who is played by Viola Davis, who everyone says is good, and I thought was good also. Although I don't say that she stole the show the way everyone else did. I think there were, honestly, Harley to me I liked her character a lot. And I wouldn't say Viola Davis was clearly like the best character in the movie, but she was really good. The scene where she first shows Enchantress to the rest of them, and you see Enchantress take control of June Moon's body, was really cool, really well done. And some of the other scenes with her were really well done, but in general, they missed the mark. I don't know if it was the actress, Delevingne, if it was the direction, if it was the writing, combination of the three. But I wasn't crazy about her, and the villain wasn't great. Okay, so music. Some people have complained about the music, that it seemed like a music video. A lot of different pop songs and different songs thrown in. I liked it. I liked it made the movie entertaining. It kept a kind of lively feel throughout it. It didn't bother me. There was never scenes where I was like, well, why is this music again? I enjoyed it. And then some of the songs are great. I mean, I wish the song during the credits by, what is it, 21 Pilots, Heathens. I love that song. Downloaded it after the movie. In general, this movie has one of the best soundtracks of any movie I've heard. So, great music. I don't know. The bill for they must spend a lot of money on the rights for the music in that movie. Okay. So I mentioned the pacing, or I mentioned the editing, which goes hand in hand with the pacing. I think I said pacing as well. So that was one of the things I didn't like. It definitely could have been edited a bit better. There was parts where it just jumped around a bit. I would like to see more time with the team. The scene in the bar where they're just talking was really good. I would like to see more just interaction between the characters, especially the three I mentioned. I would have liked to. There's one scene with some pretty cool action. There's like 3 action scenes, 2 of which are pretty good. One of which I thought was very good. Could have been a bit better. I would have liked to see more like marksmanship by Deadshot. And it was a bit, it's kind of silly that they were all seem to be sort of on par. I mean, Harley Quinn, she's great, but she couldn't hold pace with Deadshot in terms of a fight. So, in terms of especially a group fight where he's shooting people and she's fighting people with a bat. But the scene where Deadshot like just runs up and he kind of proves himself to the other army people was great. Action was really well done in that scene, or at least just the feel of it, like the vibe of like him showing them who he really was. There's also a scene earlier where probably my second favorite action related scene where they're testing his abilities and he shows them on a shooting range, and I just thought it was pretty awesome. Liked it a lot. Anything else? Rick Flag he's the guy that's like kind of he's not superpowered. He works for the army. He's the guy that's hired by Waller to kind of control them. He was solid, good acting. So overall, I liked the movie. I found it entertaining. I saw it 3 times because my daughter, who's 6, who some of you probably say is too young to see the movie, but she really wanted to see it, and she loved it. And I think the reason I asked her why she liked it so much, and she liked Harley Quinn. And I think aside from the sexualized outfit, which isn't necessarily the best message to send to young women, and of course I didn't mind it. She looked great, and Margot Robbie is a good-looking woman. But there's not that many movies with certainly superhero movies with strong female superheroes, kicking butt, holding their own with the fellas, and a similar reason why my daughter wanted to see Ghostbusters, and she loved it. I mean, she loved this movie. She saw it twice, and she wanted to see it again. She wanted to see it again over seeing Pete's Dragon for the first time. So, for what it's worth, it hit that audience with my daughter, and I know some people have said, well, why do you have to, what's the importance of kind of making these movies for switching it over, concentrating on female audience like that at the expense of male audience? Well, you know what, I can see the value in it as a father of a daughter. So overall, solid movie, entertaining, 7 out of 10.